A little while ago, I took on the challenge of building a bunker in 10 minutes, 1 minute, and then 10 seconds. It was definitely a stressful experience, but it was a lot of fun, and you guys seem to really enjoy it. So, I thought I would do it again, but instead of doing a bunker, I would do it with a house. This is going to be a lot more challenging. Because, you know, with a bunker, I could just dig a hole, but with a house actually has to do something. Like, it has to stand tall and look house-like. But I'm feeling positive, so I'm going to gather up a handful of resources and let's get to it. 10 seconds first. So I think for a house to be called a house, it has to have a roof, a door, and a bed in it. Those are kind of the minimum requirements for something to be called a house. So I guess in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, that's that. These are all the walls. There's our bed, there's our door, and then this is the roof. I actually think we might have pulled that off. Which, if we have, I'm so impressed. Yep, I've just watched back the recording. We did it. We managed to do it within the 10-second time frame, which means that this is a totally legitimate house. And I have to say, I actually think it looks quite cool. I mean, I'd happily live in here. It's quite snug. There's not a whole lot of room to kind of walk around, but it does the trick, and it looks great. So the most frantic one is done. Now it's time to move on to 1 minute. And I actually think that 1 minute is the most challenging because the expectations are higher and you want to do something cooler than what you did for 10 seconds, but you only really have 6 times as much time. Like, you're still really hard pushed to do anything crazy impressive. So I'm gonna have to be quite bold here. All right, in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so we are going to do a piston door for this build, but first off, I'm actually going to build up the entire thing. So we need to place blocks in, going all the way around like this. Of course, this is where our pistons are going to be going, so that is actually going to be our door. Then we're going to have redstone that goes around like this, goes into that block. And there is all of that done. Now I guess we should probably have some form of floor down at the bottom of this thing. So that's that. There is our bed. And then up at the top we can just place in all of the stone slabs. And that is going to be our roof. So that's looking pretty sweet. Now I'm thinking that we should probably get some form of window on the inside of this thing. But that's all working. And oh, we haven't quite built that right. We need to place that in like that. But that is everything. I mean, I've got to say, we still have some time left. We can even chuck in a chest. Check that out. Now, I've got to say, I'm super impressed with how much we managed to do within 1 minute there. Now, you can see that I've sort of changed the building style. So with our first build, we kind of had like a cute little house made out of wood. I thought for this one, we would go for a slightly more, I guess, industrial. Not even industrial. It looks like a safe house. It kind of looks like, it looks like a compound. It's the kind of place that you own if there's like a zombie apocalypse and you want to be as safe as possible. That's essentially what I've constructed here. And then if we pop through this door, you can see that we've got the bed, we've got a roof above our heads, and we've got a door, which means that this is an official house. It's certified official. And we even have a little chest to store all of our items. And we've also got a couple of windows around the edges. I mean, this thing's pretty impressive. For 60 seconds, I gotta say, I'm pretty chuffed with what I managed to pull off there. Alright, I'll stop blowing my own trumpet now. It's time to move on to the big boy, which of course is the 10-minute build. And this one is going to be pretty filled up with redstone contraptions. I want to do a bunch of redstone stuff, which means that house-wise, I think I'm going to keep things fairly simple, but I want it to be split across 2 floors. And I want it to be, I guess, kind of reminiscent of a Minecraft village, but slightly better looking. So we're going to have a nice roof on there. I guess we'll use some cobblestone for that, or maybe even some stone bricks. And then, yeah, I need to work out what sort of redstone contraptions I want on the inside, because 10 minutes, although it sounds like a lot, and it's definitely a lot compared to 10 seconds and 1 minute, it's still not a whole lot to do anything too ambitious. Regardless, I think I have a good idea of what I'm going to do, so let's get started. 3, 2, 1, and go. Okay, so first things first, 2 doors like that, and then I think our house is going to be about this big, I would say. And I think those stumps will probably have to be about that high, because if we want our roof to look any good, then it's probably going to go up like that. So if we place in all the stone bricks, Yeah, so we're going to have something like this going on. So this is how tall our house is going to be. And then we'll get a slight overhang. And then also do all of this to make everything look pretty. And that is kind of like the front side of the house. It actually looks quite sweet. Now, I'm wondering, how far back do we want this to go? So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Maybe 7 blocks in total? That will give us plenty of space to do a lot of really cool things, and it should also give us some room upstairs as well to be able to do something quite impressive. Oh boy, this roof is going to be time consuming. For some reason, I really struggle with placing in stairs. See, look at me go. I miss everything. I gotta get better at that. Come on. Keep it going, keep it going. Alright, we are almost done with the roof. The roof is almost fully completed. Right, and now it's time for the rear section of the house, which is not too complicated in the slightest. And that is everything done in terms of that. Now, I think in terms of windows, maybe one window there, one window there. I mean, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it certainly looks okay. And you know what? I think I'm actually going to go all out, and we're going to use some bone meal around this thing and just try our best. When in doubt, just chuck bone meal around. It tends to look a tiny bit better. There we go. I'm even throwing some leaf blocks around, just to really. This is about as buildery as I get. I mean, yeah, it doesn't get much better than this for me. And then maybe I'll even create a kind of like wrapped off garden, and then maybe even put some gravel running up to the front. Okay, I would argue that build-wise, we are pretty much all completed in terms of the looks for this thing. Now we actually have to just do all of the interior and all of the stuff that I want to do on the inside, which we do not have much room to work with. All right, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that in the center of this room, we have essentially a pop-up staircase system. So, obviously, we don't have much space to play with, so having a staircase in the middle of the room is going to be pretty ugly. But if we could create a system that actually pops up the stairs that allows us to go onto the next level, that could be really cool, but most importantly, also really useful as well. Now, redstone-wise, it should be relatively simple. All we have to do is power some pistons down at the bottom of these, and then these will need double piston extenders, which we should be able to do using observers. I think in theory that should just be it. I mean, this could actually be a really simple little circuit, because if we connect this up and then give it a button press. Oh, I've just thought we probably would rather have those be observers, so that these fire on a toggle. Okay, I'm probably not making much sense. I'm kind of stressed. That idea totally didn't work, but I've swapped it out for something different, and now it does. Oh yeah, that looks so cool. That is such a cool feature. Okay, right, let's wire this button in somewhere sensible. This could be a massive waste of time, but I actually think it's a nice feature. Cool. Okay, first redstone contraption done. Probably the most complicated too. Of course, I can't forget to place in the bed, because if I don't, then this isn't actually a house. And then I think we could probably get away with having a crafting bench, and then maybe some double chests on either side. We should still be able to open these, because yeah, they've got stairs on top of them. Lights as well. Yeah, we need lights here. Now I think if I can, I would like to create a rotating storage system. It's going to be very tight, and we're running extremely low on time, but I think we could pull it off. Oh my goodness. All right, okay. So that is there. Oh, just let me place it in. I can't even remember which one we've already used. I'm so amazed we managed to pull that off. I can't believe it. I kind of blanked on how to make it halfway through, but we managed to get there in the end, and we now have a cycling storage system. But I think that's time's up. Let's just have quick. Oh my word, I'm losing my mind. Yep, we only had 18 seconds left, so I thought I would use that by placing these pot plants. But that is everything, and whew, I'm so impressed. That's completely blown my mind that we've managed to pull that off. Like, seriously? So let's start off by looking at the exterior, and I've got to say, I am really proud of this thing. And check that out. I think it looks gorgeous. There is a slight hole that I haven't patched up, but I suppose that was within the 10 minutes, so, you know, it's going to stay like that. We now have a slight sinkhole next to the house, but outside of that, I mean, this is really cool looking. And if we pop inside, making use of the pressure plates, you can see that here we have got ourselves a button that allows us to go up to the next floor. So we have access to chests, crafting benches, beds, things like that. And if we just pop down to the bottom again, we can take down this staircase because, you know, if we had a staircase going up the side of this thing, that would take up a lot of valuable room. So I thought it would be smart to actually have a redstone based system. Then of course we've got furnaces, we've got the anvil in the corner right there, and then in this section we have got probably my favorite part of the build, which is our cycling storage system. So this is a shulker box, and then if we hit the button we get access to the next shulker box, which have a whole different set of items. So this could be filled to the brim with villager trading supplies because it's green. And then if we hit the button, we get this one, which is filled to the brim with wheat. You kind of get the picture. I think this is super useful. Once again, very, very space efficient. Love this build. So we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is my 10-minute, 1-minute, 10-second build. Let me know down in the comment section what you think I should do next. But anyway, if you have enjoyed, please hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.